desert. Naked. And I know what you might be thinking to yourself right now. Well, gee, wonderhussie, you're not naked. You're wearing a bikini. But this is my magic bikini. And if you watched the video I made about my magic bikini, well, you'll probably remember how I bought it at a flea market in far Marrakesh from an old gypsy woman who assured me that to those who are true of spirit and pure of heart, it's invisible. You know, it's only meant to keep me from getting busted by the social media morality police. So if you can see it, well, I hate to tell you, but it means you're just not pure enough of heart. Because if you were, it would be as if I was wearing nothing at all, which, like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm not. I'm naked. I don't know what to tell you. I guess you need to go to confession and get your conscience clean. Anyway, I'm out here in a very, very, very remote and desolate part of Death Valley that many folks would like you to believe doesn't even exist. So the less I say about it, the better. Let's just say I'm in a place called Secret Valley. And it is a very remote, desolate, and mysterious valley where you can go naked all day, every day, without fear of judgment or retribution. That's right, nudity is, if not legal, at least tolerated here. And so me and my sister and some friends came out here to camp out for a full week in the desert. And that's why we have this crazy, well, it's sort of a crazy gypsy nomad camp. We have a bunch of aluminate hanging up right now to keep the sun out because it was getting pretty hot. But you know, you can see inside here we have our whole situation, which is what I call this whole glamping mess I do when I'm going to be camping in a certain place for any length of time. Well, I don't like to just, you know, throw up a tent. I like to camp in style. And that means bringing my oriental rug and my tablecloth and my magazines and my chandelier and all my Christmas lights. I'm still sleeping relatively modestly over here in the back of my 4Runner. You can see I have my bed made there, all my clothes and supplies, which you might go, well, gee, wonderhussie, you just said you were camping someplace where you could be naked all day, every day. Why do you have clothes? Well, funny you should ask. 3 days from now is Halloween. Actually, the day I'll be posting this video is Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone. Well, at this particular nudist encampment, apparently, and I've never been here for Halloween before, but apparently they have a big Halloween party. And so, well, what does one wear to a nudist Halloween party? I mean, you can't really wear a costume because then you won't be naked, right? Well, I brought my blonde beehive wig and my little space antenna and a big pair of black sunglasses, and so that's gonna be my costume. I'm just gonna roll around naked in a beehive. But then I also have like pajamas and some warm clothes in case it gets cold at night, which it does get chilly at night. Thankfully, I do have my nice cozy bathrobe hanging up here, so that's good to put on when things get really chilly. This over here is our camp kitchen. Not too fancy a kitchen. We have a little 1-burner butane stove in there. We're not really super much for cooking, to be honest. I mean, if I open this cooler and show you what we have in here, you'll see for yourself that it's mostly booze. What can I say? I'm on a diet. Anyway, that's my camp. That's the kitchen. Over here we have my electrician friend Terry's rig. Look at Terry has really stepped up his camping game. He got this really cool, well, I would call it a rooftop tent, but it's not made for a rooftop. It's made for the back of a pickup truck. Look at that. That's Terry's work truck that he uses for his electrical business. But he had a rack mounted in it with this really cool tent on a little platform, ladder going up to it. I was never much for rooftop tents myself. I stayed in one when I went to Namibia that time. And I don't know, sleeping in a tent on the roof where there's lions running around, you're still in a tent. And to me, they always kind of just seemed like more hassle than they're worth. But I don't know, when he popped that thing open last night and crawled into bed, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of jealous. And yes, I'm very well aware that I could get a rooftop tent for my 4Runner as well. I just don't think I'm quite ready to make that commitment. Now, my sister, on the other hand, she's kind of splitting the difference. She is sleeping in the back of her 4Runner with her boyfriend, but she also put this really cool, I don't know what you would call this, well, it says it's called a tail veil. It's a tailgate tent that fits over the hatch of an SUV. And she doesn't have the rain fly on it now, but she did earlier today. You can fully cover it for privacy, or you can take the rain fly off and just use it as sort of a bug net. So that way when she goes to sleep at night, she can leave her tailgate wide open and not have to worry about any bothersome creepy crawlers, because we are, I gotta be careful which way I pan, Secret Valley. We are out here in Death Valley, and there are scorpions and rattlesnakes and all kinds of, well, there's coyotes, there's probably, might even be tarantulas. I think it's tarantula season. Anyway, none of that is gonna get into her hatch with that tent thingy up, which I should note was a gift from a viewer, so thank you very much for that tent. It is coming in handy. Anyway, we got here last night and we basically spent all dang day putting all this crap up, and I am absolutely pooped. Okay, I was pooped to begin with, which is why we came out here. We're out here for a full week of R&R, rest and relaxation. And I really need it because I have been going lately, okay? I went up to the Cajon Pass and made that video with my rail fan viewer, Bob, if you happen to watch that one I just posted the other day. And then from there, I went directly to Barstow to do the Main Street USA Festival. And then from there, they wanted me to do an art tour the next day of all the murals in downtown Barstow on a 4x4 stagecoach. That's right, they actually have a lifted four-wheel drive stagecoach, like the old Wells Fargo stagecoach, that you can take a ride on, and they'd take you around. They'd tell you about all the different murals in downtown Barstow. It's really a cool experience. Wait till you see the video. You're going to want to do it too. Anyway, from there, I had to go the next day to Newberry Springs and film a really crazy video there that I don't know when I'm going to have time to edit that one. And then from there, I had to go back to the Jean Dry Lake bed so I could check on the Rise Festival, that lantern festival, make sure they cleaned up all their lanterns. And then from there, I had to go to Moab, Utah. I was in Moab, Utah for a week doing all this crazy off-roading with a buddy of mine, and it's a really long, complicated story that unfortunately I don't have time to get into here, but suffice it to say, it was just a lot. The last 2 weeks have been a lot, and so I'm kind of looking forward to just chilling out. You know, I've been making all these videos for other people lately, and so I thought, well, maybe it's time to just make a video for myself. And so that's basically what this is. Okay, you might have noticed I'm wearing this weird little furry thing on my Magic Bikini. Well, it's a new microphone. Well, I've had it for a while and I've used it on and off, but I don't know. I feel like I need to play around with it more and test it out. So this video is an opportunity for me to test out my new microphone, which you tell me, how do I sound? Also, another thing I want to try in this video is I want to talk about music. Okay, I like to put background music in my videos, and YouTube has a pretty decent sized library of royalty-free music. Okay, music that doesn't have any copyrights on it, so you're free to use it in your YouTube videos without having to pay some record company for licensing rights. Okay, you may have noticed when you watch YouTube videos, there's not usually any songs that you've ever heard playing in the background. You know, you're not going to hear the Rolling Stones, you're not going to hear the Beatles, because if you want to use a Rolling Stones or a Beatles song in a video, you have to pay licensing fees, and they are not cheap at all. So YouTube actually has a pretty big library of royalty-free music you can use. In fact, I'll show you. This is the YouTube audio library, and there are all kinds of different songs: hip-hop, rap, R&B, soul, pop, country, folk, every genre, every mood. So you can search for something that's sad, or something that's funky, or something that's inspirational, and you can generally find something for just about any video you're making. As a matter of fact, I have some of my favorite tracks that I use from the YouTube music library saved in a folder on my laptop, so that way I can use them offline. But you'll probably recognize some of these. Like, this is one that I always use when I'm just sort of poking around, you know, like investigating an old abandoned house, or some, what's going on here? It's called Silly Snickerdoodle by Joel Cummins. You'll probably recognize it. Listen. this sound familiar? You probably heard it in the background of about 1,000 of my videos. Or how about this one? Between the Spaces by the Soundlings. This one I would use if I was doing something super dramatic, like hiking up a mountain, or I can't find something, or oh my god, something's about to go wrong, dun dun dun. Or this one I use a lot if I'm doing something kind of whimsical, magical, telling a story. As a matter of fact, when I made that video about my magic bikini, telling the story of my magic bikini, I used this in the background. That's called Puka by Kevin MacLeod. And Kevin MacLeod is actually one of the most prolific composers of royalty-free music. I want to meet this guy someday. He has written and composed probably hundreds of songs that he allows anyone to use royalty-free just out of the goodness of his heart. I'm assuming YouTube probably pays these people some kind of fee to be able to use their music and videos, but man, Kevin MacLeod, I salute you. And in fact, he recently got some pretty significant coverage at the Golden Globes. Okay, I think it was the Golden Globes last year. I actually got a bunch of emails from people going, hey, wonderhussie, they were playing one of your songs on the Golden Globes. Okay, this one was called Fluffing a Duck. Does that sound familiar? I used this one in a ton of my videos, and apparently they used it at the Golden Globes, I think last year. Kristen Wiig and Will Ferrell were giving some award out, and they started playing that music and doing this funny dance to it. Well, it was really interesting to me how many people emailed me and recognized that song from my videos, because I usually try to put it in the background pretty subtly, but every now and then I'll crank up the volume a little bit, and so I was actually flattered that people remembered. I'll show you one more that I use a lot. I use this one if I'm doing a Western scene. You know, it's just like you're riding your horse along in the west, through the desert, through the scorpions and tarantulas, in your magic bikini and your chaps. Okay, I don't know about the magic bikini part, but you get the idea. There are hundreds of songs in this royalty-free YouTube library, and I think they're actually pretty decent quality. I mean, some people might go, oh, the canned music is so cheesy. No, man, people like this Kevin MacLeod do a really good job writing this stuff, and it's great. I don't have any complaints about it. What I do have a complaint about is these copyright owners of serious music are so crazy greedy, frankly, is the word, that if I'm doing a video, like say I was walking up and down the Vegas Strip and I walked past a store that was playing music and I got just 10 seconds of some copyrighted song in the background of my video, they have some kind of software or algorithm that can detect that, and you will get hit with a copyright strike. I think they get all the revenue that your video earns. Oh, sorry about this background noise. Unfortunately, I'm not the only one who enjoys this part of Death Valley. There's also a lot of fighter jets blasting around the sky. I don't even know if you can see that guy up there, but he's blowing up fuel that our tax dollars paid for. My friend Terry that's here, he has fighter pilots in his family, and so he asked him about this, and he goes, yeah, you know, after they go out and do their maneuvers, they have to burn through the rest of their fuel before they land, so they tell them to just go have fun. So, have fun on my dime, guys, and enjoy cluttering up the background noise of this video. Well, it's not that bad, and I actually do enjoy watching those guys fly around. I might be just a little salty because I have dated a couple fighter pilots, and woo-wee, those guys are woo-woo. Anyway, back to what I was complaining about. I was saying that if you do have copyrighted music in the background of one of your videos, well, it's a problem. And I'm pretty careful about not letting any copyrighted music get into the backgrounds of my videos. Like if I do a video on the Vegas Strip, I'm pretty mindful of like if I'm walking past a speaker, and so that's why I do a lot of voiceovers. I just film footage and then I put copyrighted music over it, and then I just talk like, and then I walked down the Vegas Strip and I saw a lot of overweight people and some people that were wearing outfits they really shouldn't have been wearing. You might have noticed how I do that. Well, I do it for a reason, and that's because if I included the natural audio, I'd get hit with all these copyright strikes and I wouldn't be able to make any money off these dang videos, and this is how I pay my bills. Newsflash. I mean, all this crap ain't free, you know what I mean? As a matter of fact, when I made that Barstow Main Street USA video, it was really difficult because there was music blasting everywhere. All those classic cars have amazing stereo systems and they're all bumping tunes, and it's all music I would love to be able to include in my videos. I mean, of course, when I'm editing a video, I can always think of, oh, just the perfect song that would fit here. But, you know, I don't have Martin Scorsese's budget. Martin Scorsese is pretty well known for having amazing soundtracks to his movies, and he always has just the right song to define the era. Well, he's got the money to afford that kind of budget. Unfortunately, I don't. But recently, my friend Mike Z was telling me that there's this new AI feature on YouTube that if you do accidentally get like 10, 15, 20 seconds of a copyrighted song in the background of your video, they let you know and they go, hey, you're going to have to share your revenue or give up your revenue, or we can, I guess they give you options. You can delete, like just blank out all the audio in that period, which I don't want to do that because what if I'm talking? I mean, nobody wants to miss 30 seconds of my witty bon mots and philosophical wisdom, right? I mean, you must be watching this for some reason. Anyway, Mike Z said, no, they can actually just take out the background music and leave the narration in place. And I have a hard time believing that. He said it happened to him when he went to Barstow and did his video there. Like, he had some copyrighted music in the background, but apparently he was able to do it to where they just took out the music and you could still hear him talking. So all that being said, since I'm out here in the middle of nowhere with some time to spare, I guess, I mean, I could be laying down with my sister and Terry having a drink, doing their thing where they're doing, and I've already said too much, but unfortunately I'm here making this video. Anyway, I'm going to play some copyrighted music in the background and just do a test, okay? I have Elvis Presley queued up because I figure the people who own Elvis Presley's publishing rights are probably pretty friggin' litigious. I've heard that about Elvis Presley Enterprises. Like, they will come after you. In fact, they were even coming after Elvis impersonators in Vegas for a while. Like, his image and presumably his music are very well protected. So I'm going to play Elvis Presley, I Can't Help Falling in Love from Blue Hawaii in the background of this video while I'm just kind of talking to you about other stuff, and just see what happens when I upload this. Now, I have a feeling when I upload it, I'm going to get a copyright notice from YouTube, and I'm going to select the option to just delete the music and leave my talking here. So I guess we'll all find out if it worked or didn't work. Okay, that's enough of that. I don't know how many seconds you can get away with doing this, but if it's true, and if you really can just erase the background music, that's a game changer for me. That means I can go up and down the Vegas Strip and interview people, talk to people, get all the dialogue I want, and not have to worry about all this mostly very crappy copyrighted music that's blasting from every speaker everywhere. I'm telling you, unless you've had to make a video or do what I'm doing, you don't realize how ubiquitous music is. There is music playing almost everywhere, which is one of the things I like about coming out here to this desolate part of Death Valley. Best of all, the total silence. Well, except for the dang fighter jets blazing around in the background, but I guess I can put up with that kind of background noise. I don't think the Air Force is gonna file a copyright strike against me if I have that in the background. Okay, anyway, that's enough of that. I'm gonna go ahead and close that screen out because I don't even know if the image from that movie is copyrighted, and it probably is. I guess on the off chance that they do blank out everything I just did, I might as well explain what just happened. I was talking while copyrighted music was playing in the background, and I was testing out this algorithm that YouTube supposedly has that can remove copyrighted music from the background so you don't get a copyright strike. So, I don't know. Did it work? I guess I'll find out. Okay, anyway, one other thing I wanted to talk about before I wrap this up. Since I am over here talking about what I want to talk about, this is my video, and I don't have to pretend to be interested in something that somebody else wants me to be interested in. Not that I wasn't interested in all the things I've been doing lately. It's just, you know, sometimes you just want to make a video that you want to make. But that being said, the videos that I want to make aren't always that popular, and oftentimes I feel like don't get the recognition I feel like they deserve. I mean, I don't really get much love from the Nevada Board of Tourism. Okay, the people in Barstow, the Chamber of Commerce Board of Tourism, they rolled out the red carpet for me 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. and they were very excited to have me come cover their town. Meanwhile, for the last 9 years, I've been going up and down the state of Nevada and all around to every little town and poking my nose into every weird old ghost town, hot spring, little quirky town, bar, hotel. And you never get any, they don't call, they don't write, I don't get any love from Travel Nevada. And so, golly, the only thing I could think is like, okay, well, maybe it's because the channel name is Wonderhussie, and a lot of people won't watch a video with, if it's by a hussy. In fact, I heard that from a viewer recently who became a very ardent viewer and fan. He's a great guy, but he said at first anytime one of my videos came up, he wouldn't look at it, like, oh, hussy, I'm not going to watch that. So it has occurred to me that my name is hindering me and it's turning people off. Well, I'm too stubborn, and some might say punk rock, to kowtow to the bourgeois moral code of the day and change the name of my channel just so I can shill to a few corporate sponsors. Screw that. I'm going to stay wonderhussie and stay proud, stay the course. But it did occur to me, what if I did an experiment? I've been posting 2 videos a week and I'm getting all burned out, and I could be down there laying with my sister and Terry right now having a drink, but instead I'm up here doing this. Well, this would, in a way, create even more work for me, but in a way, not really. What if I just continued on Wednesdays to do my wonderhussie video and I could be myself? But then what if on Friday I start a second channel? This is just a thought I'm having. You can let me know what you think. What if I started a second channel that was just called, like, Nevada Adventures or something very G-rated and innocuous? And at the beginning of those videos, I'll just travel around Nevada, exploring cool things in the state of Nevada, which is totally underappreciated and there's a lot to share. But at the start of those videos, I would just go, hi, everybody, Sarah Jane here, and today we're going to check out the Clown Motel. And then I'll go do the Clown Motel. Now, this would actually help me in a few different ways. One, I would be able to go revisit all the places I've been in Nevada, and in many of those cases, do a better job. Because a lot of my Nevada videos I shot at the beginning of my YouTubing career, and I wasn't very good, so the production values are pretty rough. So this would give me a chance to go back and do them better. I'd have a ton of content ready to go because all that Nevada stuff is within like an hour drive of my house, a lot of it. And so I could very easily go out and get new videos to put up on this second channel on Fridays. And so I could do my wonderhussie on Wednesday, it'd be kind of like, how you have an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other shoulder. Not that I'm a devil, but, you could have wonderhussie on one shoulder and Sarah Jane on the other. I don't know. What do you think? Is that a good idea? Somebody else told me recently that it's a good time to start a new YouTube channel because if you get a certain number of subscribers to it in the first couple weeks or something, they push it out, especially if the word hussy is not in the name. So I'm pretty sure if I did this, I could probably get at least a few of you guys to subscribe to the new channel, and then that would maybe boost me in the algorithm. And golly, it just feels like I've been grinding along forever. I've been doing this for 9 years. I'm not even at 300,000 yet. Which I don't mean to sound like I'm complaining because, 300,000 viewers is a lot of viewers. And I'll probably get to that number around New Year's, I think. And besides, it's not really quantity, it's quality. I don't have the most viewers or subscribers in the world, but what I do have is quality. I mean, I get the nicest emails and the nicest mail from people. In fact, I just opened all my mail and I got a bunch of really cool stuff. So thank you to everybody who sent me something. I will be sending you thank you notes. But I don't know. It just seems like I'm not doing as well as I might be. And so I just think it might be kind of an interesting experiment to see what changing my name would do for me. I don't know. Like I said, it's just a thought. It'd be a lot of work. So I can't see myself getting around to it anytime soon. But tell me in the comments, let me know what you think. If that would be a good idea. Do you think it would help me? Should I just stay the course and keep being wonderhussie twice a week? Or should I try to make some money, man? I mean, I'm not broke, but golly, I can't afford a lot of things I want to be able to buy. I want to be able to go cool places, and it would be nice to be able to afford to pay somebody to help me edit my videos so that I am not stuck up here working all day while my sister and Terry yuck it up down at the thing they're at. Anyway, on that note, I am going to wrap this up, and they said they were going to be there till sunset, and well, the sun is just about to go down over the Inyo Mountains any minute. And so if I want to enjoy any R&R with them at all, well, I guess I better sign off. and leave you to the rest of your weekend. Like I said, this is Halloween. Today is Halloween, so whatever you're doing for Halloween, I hope you have a safe and fun time. Even if it's just sitting at home, opening the door for trick-or-treaters. Man, Halloween is my favorite holiday, so even if you're not into it, well, raise a glass for me, because I'm going to be running around naked in nothing but a magic bikini and a blonde bouffant wig.